How's it, everyone? Welcome back. Today we're going to have another cheating lefty comparison video, taking a look at the overstable mid-ranges from Discraft, the Malta, and the Hornet. When I finally got my hands on the Malta, the first thing that I noticed that how compact it felt, almost like I was holding a putter, versus the Hornet actually feels more like what you would think for a typical mid-range. The weight is distributed more along the rim versus the Malta. It almost feels like it's just perfectly balanced throughout the entire disc. As you can tell side by side here, the Malta has a little bit of a dome to it and a little more rounder edging, whereas the Hornet is a lot flatter, which actually bodes really well for forehands. Now, taking a look underneath, you can see that the Hornet does have a slight micro bead to it, hardly noticeable, and the Malta has a really big prominent bead. So if you like beaded mid-ranges, definitely check out the Malta. Now, taking a look at these first early flights, these are thrown flat just on a simple hyzer. Look at how much more glide that the Hornet has in the Malta. The Malta's flight, to me, is very similar to that of a zone. It just wants to get to the ground as soon as it starts slowing down, whereas you can see again here, the Hornet, when it starts to hyzer, it keeps pushing forward, it keeps gliding forward. It has that extra forward penetration with that sneaky glide, and that gives it just great distance for an overstable mid-range. So does that mean that the Hornet is better than the Malta? Absolutely not. It all depends what kind of shot that you're wanting. The Malta, because of that compact, almost putter-like feel, I think it holds up in the wind a lot better than the Hornet. Now, don't get me wrong, the Hornet never wanted to fully turn over at all at any point. But on windier days, you can definitely tell that the Hornet is affected more by that wind. This is actually a perfect example. As you can see, the wind does play with the Hornet a little bit. It still hyzers out, but the wind does ever so slightly affect the flight. So, does that mean that the Malta is better than the Hornet? Again, it's going to come down to what you want the disc to do. I think the Malta is more like a longer zone. It's going to be something that's going to resist the wind really well, but it's something that you really want to get to the ground extremely quickly. Whereas the Hornet, it has that extra glide, and for an overstable disc, that's not very common for an overstable mid. That extra glide, it kind of reminds me of the flight of a wasp, just will resist the wind a lot better. And you can even see in these shots here just how it is that the Hornet gets a lot more forward penetration, gets further off to the left, and the Malta just kind of really more just drop to the ground. And that's why I think you can actually bag both discs. If I were to bag both of these discs, I would use the Malta more for shots that I need a longer zone. Something where I've got a lot of space to hang it out wide and can just let the disc hyzer in. Versus the Hornet, I actually would use it more probably in the woods, somewhere where there's a lot more dog legs, because it penetrates forward as it hyzers out with that extra glide. It really shapes up extremely well, I think, for wooded courses. So I can definitely see uses for both of these discs in someone's bag. All right, so in my opinion, if you want a longer zone, definitely take a look at the Malta. If you're wanting more of like a Wasp OS, definitely take a look at the Hornet. You guys won't be disappointed with either of these discs. Now, I do have review videos of both the Malta and the Hornet out there, so I'll post a link at the end of the video. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Huge shout out to the community, Discraft, and Riverside ProShop.